Hello friends, welcome to Knitography. I'm Patricia and I'm coming to you from my little farm in the middle of Norway. It's a blustery winter's day. The snow is falling heavily outside the windows, blanketing the whole of the farm. The first snow is always peaceful and magical. I'm sitting by the fire now, after chores with the sheep, sipping a warm cup of farm tea with a bit of time to share and to connect with you. I hope you'll be knitting or walking, but enjoying your day wherever you are. You might be wondering why I'm recording an audio version of my vlog rather than the usual visual vlog. I have so many good intentions with my vlog, but unfortunately, I'm just not proving to be consistent. As a highly visual maker, I create such demands on myself for the aesthetic recording and sharing. These demands so often get in the way of my ever finishing or publishing a video. Now, too, there is so little daylight, and recording without proper light just isn't an option for me. So for now, I'm going to record using audio, and I invite you to join me on Instagram to follow my making and farm journey visually. You don't need an account to pop in and just have a look at what I'm sharing. You can just simply put in my username using your digital device, and you can visit my profile. I'm hoping during the darkest of winter, you'll still enjoy the audio version of my sharing. I'm sure from time to time I'll record a visual vlog once again, but for now this feels right for me. It's really important to me to honor my feelings at the moment. For those of you that are connected with me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been going through some personal challenges of late. I actually posted some of my thoughts from my knitting bag book about my recent struggles with anxiety and fear. My daughter, Emma Grace, whom you will have seen joining me on my vlog and who helps me immensely here on the farm, is soon to face a very risky and invasive surgery from a birth defect that impairs her walking correctly. This is a procedure that could have happened many times over the course of her life. Each time we face the decision to correct the problem, we put it off because of the risk. Too risky because she was a baby. Too risky because we didn't want her to miss so much of schooling at such a young age. Too risky because she was going through puberty. On and on. But now that she's older, she has to make the decision on her own about living with the pain and the difficulty of walking, or to correct the problem. After much consultation with doctors and specialists, she's decided she's having the surgery. My analytical mind understands the need and the reasons for going through with it, quality of life and pain for a start. But my heart is struggling to come to terms with it all. This has manifested itself during my sleep mostly, with nightmares, waking from panic. I've actually fractured one of my fillings from the stress of grinding my teeth during my sleep. During the day, my vertigo has been out of control, almost to the point at which I cannot sit inside or ride within a car. My anxiety is this great. Of course, during the day, when it is so visible and begins to affect the people you love the most around you, you need to make a change. These anxious feelings just continue to escalate. I became paralyzed with the fear of losing my child and simply began to see myself stop functioning normally. The change I've decided during the last week is to seek some outside support. We're still waiting to hear the exact date of the procedure, so the unknown just sits there in the corner, and the risk seemed to play like a loop within my mind. I'm a logical person. I know that my child will receive the best of care possible. Although this is not an everyday sort of procedure, she will not have been the first to experience it. Yes, I know all of the logical things. But my heart aches because she is my child, because of the guilt surrounding the struggle and the pain she has faced within her short life from this defect since birth. I've learned a lot about my anxiety by seeking this support. For one, it's not uncommon to experience a sort of traumatic stress with such news. It's not uncommon for it to manifest itself through extreme fear, especially during the night. Because, of course, during the daytime, I must be strong and hide these fears only on the inside. Like a tea kettle, though, the whistle blows and you're done. It's enough. You can't really handle any more of the problem. I wanted to share this part of me because right now it is such a huge part of my everyday life as a maker. I'm so thankful for my farm, my sheep, and all of the things that I use my hands to create at the moment. My hands really do help me gain control over these fears. And like so many others, they help me to create beauty within something that so many people find uncomfortable and would rather push away. It's no surprise that I've spent most of my time knitting mittens. I'm soon finished knitting the Trondheim mittens designed by Pia Kammerborn. It was such a pleasure to work with Pia on the English version of this project and to offer the yarn kits within my farm shop. Pia came to Trondheim during the autumn and managed to experience the beauty of this city that I so love. She captured the old buildings of the Brygge on the cuff of the mitten perfectly. You, of course, can see these mittens on my Instagram feed. If you are interested in knitting them yourself, you can contact me to purchase the original yarn within the kit. I've also knit a small baby Selbu set, which includes mittens and booties. This is a lovely little set, which features the Selbu star and a black and white checkered pattern on the bottom of the foot. On the cuff of the mitten and the sock is knit the traditional Norwegian lace pattern with a little red accent color. I use Raume Finulgarn, and I'm looking forward to gifting this little set to a dear friend who is actually expecting a baby later in life. Such a celebration. I've also knit my son a pair of Selbu slipper socks out of traditional black and white Raume Tretråd strikkegarn. My son loves knitted socks, and burning the midnight oil, I finished them just in time for his 17th birthday. He's worn them non-stop in the evenings after school, which of course makes my heart glad. I've knit Emma Grace a pair of mittens. This was a challenge for sure. I took an everyday Raume mitten pattern, and when I reached the knuckles of my own fingers, I did a little cast-on, cast-off sticking technique and knit the 4 fingers. Then I made the regular top of the mitten. You can see the result on my Instagram feed. The fingers are not perfect, especially the first one, but I mended that so that the hole was invisible and the rest of the fingers worked out perfectly. It was a puzzle for sure, but she loves them, and they really are the perfect pair of mittens for a girl on the go with her telephone. I've also knit Anne Mura, Pinaguri, or the Needle Lady on Ravelry, Taxus mittens. I chose these mittens to highlight within a knitting kit called Forest Home, simply because I just love trees. This was a collaborative kit with my friend Lori of Chickenwood Studio and Jill of Birdie and Poppet. We've been working together to combine our handmade items into some really special knitting kits. This was actually our second kit, and we're looking forward to our third. The Texas mittens are meant to highlight the beauty of Roma lammull. As I record this episode, we have one Forest Home knitting kit available if you're interested. But if you're interested in purchasing the yarn to knit the Texas mittens, I also have the set of 3 colors available within my farm shop. I've also knit the most beautiful pair of Selbu mittens for my dear friend Andrea. And I participated in a test knit for Natalie Sheldon of Remembrance Pottery. Her new stranded color work knitted socks are called Midnight Snow Socks, and the pattern will be released on December the 21st. You can see the mittens and the socks on my Instagram feed. I also designed a pair of mini Selbu vaulted mitten blockers in connection to another collaborative project with Pia Kammerborn. Pia has designed the loveliest set of mini mittens called the Wispy Mini Mittens. In working on the English version of her pattern once again, I began sketching a mini version of my Selbu blockers. Pia has shared the most stunning photo of the mini mittens and the mini blockers together this week on her feed. It's a must-see if you haven't seen it already. The Wispy mini mittens were actually knit from the leftover Roma gammelserie garn from the Trondheim mitten kits. Not only are you able to knit 2 sets of Trondheim mittens with the kit I have put together, but you also have enough leftover yarn to knit the mini mittens. They are such a quick and joyful knit, and they have so many uses. You can use them to decorate wreaths, as a garland, or for gift tags. I've hung a pair with the mini blockers on my knitting backpack. They just make me smile. Finally, I've started knitting my way through the book of 35 mittens. I finished a beautiful pair out of Let Lopi that represent the forest and pine trees. Perfect for me. You can also see these mittens on Instagram. The book is by a Swedish designer, but I know for a fact that the book will be coming out in English in May of 2019. I actually attended the lecture about the book and met the designer during Mitten Day in Lillehammer. It was such a lovely experience. I still have some cardigans on the needles, but I've had to put those aside. It's been such a busy time on the farm since shearing day and all of the preparations for winter. I'll get back to jumpers and cardigans soon. Speaking of the farm, on Instagram you can see how the sheep are enjoying the snow. They bring us such joy each day. I'm so glad they're here with us. It's so much work, and the economy is still such a challenge because we cannot mill our fleeces yet for yarn. But for now, it's all worth it. I just keep working hard to create my Selbu blockers, my Selbu accessories, working on collaboration kits and that I hope knitters will really love, and dreaming of spring when I can once again naturally dye my farm yarns. I know I'll get there one day. For now, I'm finishing up sorting of my fleeces ready for storage. Attending the Farmer's Day at my local mill recently gave me a lot of confidence. As I shared on Instagram, we received such praise for our fleeces. I know that the work we are doing here on the farm is going to really pay off because of this feedback. I now know how to store the fleeces until the next clip, and I know how to prepare better for the actual day of shearing. I'll admit, it's really hard to accept that we must store our fleeces and wait. It's hard to justify the cost and the economy, as I mentioned earlier. But I'm going to give one more full year on my own before I decide to make any changes or send my fleeces away. I really do want to mill locally within this historical region of Norway. I thank you so much for joining me and listening today. I truly hope that with audio I can sit down more often, more consistently, without a lot of stress and pressure, and record and connect with you.